Here's a fundamental premise. You own your body. Now, it's not exactly news that there are two powerful forces that try to steamroll that fundamental right, politicians and corporations. But what you may not know is that 3 days ago, the Supreme Court struck back against one half of that problem. The court got involved because medical companies have been pushing the boundaries of how to profit off DNA. These corporations were claiming they could patent and own organic DNA. Your DNA. The court said no. It rejected privatized DNA. But then when it came to the government seizing DNA, most of the justices lost their nerve. The surrender to aggressive police tactics came in another key case earlier this month. The justices okayed a huge and relatively new power for police. The power to search you, seize your DNA, and use it to track you in a database, even if you've never committed a crime. Now, DNA databases and crime tracking may sound like a faraway fantasy out of Minority Report. But the future's here. 29 states already take DNA samples of suspects for certain crimes. Now, I'm not talking about convicted felons. The state already has the authority to gather information about them, which makes sense if they are headed to jail. I'm talking about how the police treat the rest of us. Now, we're all innocent until proven guilty. That's supposed to apply whether you're minding your own business or talking to a cop or being stopped, frisked, and arrested by one. And that's where these new DNA powers run into some very old police practices. Now, we already know about the systemic discrimination in our justice system. We talked about it today. African Americans make up 13.6% of the population. And in this DNA area, now 40% of the FBI's DNA database is made up by African Americans. Now, I think that has two consequences. At this rate, the very first national database of DNA will be of Black America. 1 out of 4 black men are already in it. And second, the genetic pool for solving crimes will inexorably bend towards the people who've been swabbed, towards black people. And since DNA cases are easier to solve with the available genetic evidence, however it's collected, these black suspects will be more likely to face apprehension than similar white suspects for similar crimes. Now, some say any police tactic that lowers crime is worth it. But that's not how our rights work. And in a dissent from the court's ruling, one Supreme Court justice sliced through the idea that we should surrender to all police imposition just to keep us safe. This justice wrote, and here I'm reading to you, today's judgment will solve more crimes, but so would the taking of DNA samples from anyone who flies on an airplane or attends a public school. Perhaps the construction of such a genetic panopticon is wise, but I doubt the founding fathers would have been so eager to open their mouths for royal inspection. Republicans, please take note. The man who wrote that objection to an endless police state was Antonin Scalia. And anyone who's serious about conservative small government would have to agree with him. And they can join everyone who's serious about civil liberties and racial justice. Now, Scalia failed to address the racial discrimination here, so he came up pretty short. But I think that's the next battle, because science will continue to keep empowering police and the state. And here's a rule of thumb, since many policymakers and pundits don't yet grasp that DNA is a civil rights issue. In a justice system where the majority of official practices have a discriminatory impact, just about anything that system touches will become a civil rights issue. That is our show for today. I want to thank you all for watching. I want to thank Melissa for having me here. And she will be back next Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern. Don't miss that. And now it's time for a preview of Weekends with Alex Witt, hosted today by Mara. What do you got?
Hey, Ari.